Let me begin by warmly welcoming you to the Chinese Embassy. It's a pleasure to have all of you here with us for the reception celebrating the 74th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. Over the past 74 years, the Communist Party of China has always pursued development as its top priority in governance. Adhering to a notion of development that puts the people first, the CPC has united and led the Chinese people to create miracles of rapid economic development and long-term social stability that have rarely been seen in world history. Today, China has grown into the world's second largest economy with the largest manufacturing sector, with its per capita GDP surpassed $12,000. It has lifted nearly 100 million poor rural residents out of poverty, eliminated absolute poverty for the first time in China's history, and realized its poverty reduction goal from the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development 10 years ahead of schedule. China has contributed more than 30% of annual global growth in the past decade, thanks to the continued efforts of the whole CPC and the Chinese people of all ethnic groups. China has realized the first centenary goal of building a moderately prosperous society in all respects and continues to march confidently towards the second centenary goal of building a modern socialist country in all respects. We Chinese believe that once you reach new heights, you will perceive greater truth and insights while facing new tasks. Since the beginning of this year, faced with the odious domestic tasks of continuing reform and development and maintaining stability, the country has promptly introduced a series of policies conducive to stabilizing economic and social development, ensuring sound momentum in China's economy performance. China's economy is brimming with a strong resilience and vitality, with personal income growing steadily. China's gross domestic product grew 5.5% year-on-year in the first half of 2023, ranking high among the world's major economies. And the country saw goods imports and exports exceed 20 trillion yuan for the first time in the January to June period, as well as improvement in trade quality. As the main driving force for world economic growth, China will continue to adhere to the right course of economic globalization and make the pie of win-win cooperation bigger, and see to it that more development gains will be shared more fairly by people across the world. We firmly believe that China's economy will not be mired in recession because of others' pessimistic views, but will only get better and better. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, this year marks the 10th anniversary of the vision of building a human community with a shared future. The principles of sincerity, real results, amity, and good faith, and of pursuing the greater good and shared interests in developing China's relations with Africa, as well as the Belt and Road Initiative put forth by Chinese President Xi Jinping. Over the past 10 years, no matter how the international situation has evolved, China and South Sudan have always adhered to the spirit of China-Africa friendship and cooperation, featuring sincere friendship and equality, win-win for mutual benefit and common development, fairness and justice. Progress with the times and openness and inclusiveness. Our two countries stood together through prosperity and adversity, shared we and woe, and fully trusted each other, making sustainable progress in bilateral relations. In the past year, our relationship has grown from strength to strength. I would like to explain this by using three consolidated. First, political mutual trust between China and South Sudan has been consolidated. President Xi Jinping and President Salva Kiir Mayardit have exchanged letters for many times, charting the course for the development of bilateral relations. President Kiir attended the CPC in dialogue with world political parties' high-level meetings online and actively responded to the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative put forth by the Chinese side. Both sides have always supported each other on issues involving respective core interests and major concerns. China always respects the South Sudan's sovereignty and independent position and opposes interference in South Sudan's internal affairs. It has actively spoken for South Sudan on multilateral occasions, such as the United Nations Security Council, and supported the South Sudan peace process with tangible actions. The South Sudanese side firmly supports the One China principle on the Taiwan question and firmly supports China's just stance, and China highly appreciates this. Second, our bilateral practical cooperation has been consolidated. South Sudan, the youngest country in the world, sees growing demands for pursuing progress and bettering people's lives after years of conflicts. And China has actively responded to President Kiir's call for a shift from humanitarian aid to more assistance in development, and has implemented and completed a number of key projects, such as China-aided broadcasting facilities, renovated Juba International Airport, air traffic management system, and China-aided Ju River Bridge involved, and will soon launch several projects, including the Juba Teaching Hospital Phase 2, borehole drilling and water supplies, and Juntao Mushroom Technology Corporation. During the BRICS Business Forum last month, President Kiir witnessed an MOU on Nimla Dry Port signed by the Ministry of Transportation and a Chinese company, which is bound to boost South Sudan's connectivity with the East African market. Besides the above-mentioned projects, China has actively provided South Sudan with capacity training programs in areas such as infrastructure, medical and healthcare, agriculture, poverty reduction, and government governance. This year alone, hundreds of South Sudanese have been invited to China for seminars. Consequently, these projects and steps have greatly enhanced South Sudan's capacity for self-development. Third, our people-to-people ties have been consolidated. The past years have witnessed frequent highlights in exchange and cooperation in education, culture, people's livelihood, and subnational affairs between our two countries. We actively promote China-aided Phase 2 technical cooperation, a project of education, support University of Juba in building a China Cultural Center, and continue to provide various scholarships and training opportunities for South Sudanese citizens. Many young South Sudanese people take the initiative to learn Chinese and actively engage in exchange and cooperation between China and South Sudan. This year also marks the 60th anniversary of China's dispatch of medical teams to aid Africa. One batch after another of Chinese medical workers provided medical services in South Sudan far away from their home. They have won recognition from the local people with their excellent medical expertise and admirable professional conduct. Though our two countries are oceans apart, these envoys of friendship have brought the hearts of the two peoples closer with their joint efforts. At the China-Africa Leaders Dialogue held in South Africa not long ago, President Xi Jinping proposed 3 proposals to advance modernization and create a great future for China and African countries, including South Sudan. As a firm supporter working side by side with Africa on its path to modernization, China will launch the initiative on supporting Africa's industrialization, the plan for China supporting Africa's agricultural modernization, and the plan for China-Africa cooperation on talent development. Looking to the future, China will work with South Sudan to implement the above-mentioned proposals and continue promoting the China-South Sudan pragmatic cooperation in both depth and substance under the framework of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation and the Belt and Road Initiative to deliver greater benefits for our two peoples. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, on the occasion of the 74th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, last year the CPC held its 12th National Congress, enjoying a blueprint for advancing the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation on all fronts through a Chinese path to modernization. The Chinese modernization is the modernization of peaceful development, of common prosperity for all the 1.4 billion Chinese people, of material and cultural ethnical advancement, and of harmony between humanity and nature. And China always keeps in mind the common interests of the world. While promoting Chinese modernization and striving for its own development, China will also inject more positive energy into world peace and bring more new opportunities to global development. We are confident that Chinese modernization is a bright path to China's prosperity and rejuvenation, and also a sure path to human progress and world harmony that China pursues. The success of China's development provides experience for countries exploring their own development path, and will also surely inspire the people of South Sudan to explore a development path that suits their national conditions and ultimately realize their dreams of justice, liberty, and prosperity. We are pleased to see that South Sudan's independent pursuit of peace and development has become more determined, and the prospects of the South Sudanese peace process are becoming brighter. We are willing to strengthen exchange and mutual learning with all countries, including South Sudan, to better converge modernity and tradition, explore an inclusive and a new form for human advancement, and jointly build a bright shared future for mankind. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, now may I invite you to join me in a toast to the 74th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China, to the peace, development, and prosperity of the Republic of South Sudan, to the friendly cooperation between China and South Sudan, and the friendship between our two peoples, and to the good health of all the friends at present day. Cheers.